Hi, my name is Richard Duffy. I'm the SAP Business One product evangelist. And on behalf of everybody at SAP, I'd like to welcome you to today's presentation. In today's presentation, I'm going to talk with you about SAP Business One OnDemand. I'm going to specifically explain what the value proposition is for SAP Business One OnDemand for our existing partners. And if you're potentially a partner who is contemplating signing up and coming on board with us to take SAP Business One OnDemand to market for your customers, I'm going to explain to you the value proposition and what the opportunity looks like for you. So with that, I'd like to just quickly run you through an agenda of what I am going to cover in today's presentation. So I'm going to talk a little bit about the market opportunity and explain exactly why at SAP we believe that there is a great opportunity for you to take SAP Business One OnDemand to market. Next thing I'd like to do is give you a little bit of an overview of what SAP Business One OnDemand is and where it fits into the rest of our product portfolio. I'd then like to take you through the process of partnering with SAP for Business One OnDemand, and we'll look at that in a little bit of detail. One of the key areas that delivers value to our partners is our Partner Edge program. So I'm going to talk with you a little bit about Partner Edge. Then I'm going to take you through a little bit of, if you like, we could call it the logistics of being an SAP partner. Some of the things that we like to discuss with you to ensure that the partnership is going to be worthwhile for both yourself and for SAP. And some of the documentation which we will go through with you as we go through the planning phase to determine how best to go to market together and how we can best work with you to get you up and running and get you productive and profitable as quickly as possible. Of course, the key component of that is what do we do around our enablement. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about that. And then I'm going to explain some of the things about the SAP Business One offering, such as working with Addons solutions and some of the new innovations available for SAP Business One. Then finally, what I would like to do is take you through the model for transitioning from our existing subscription-based hosting to our new Business One OnDemand model. So hopefully that's going to cover all of the different areas. For example, I won't cover the pricing in the version of this presentation that I'll be publishing out onto YouTube. What we'll be doing is, once you've had a look at the rest of the opportunity, then we'll be more than happy to take you through a specific discussion about Business One OnDemand pricing if you are potentially contemplating becoming an SAP Business One OnDemand partner. So hopefully that makes sense for you, and with that I'd like to get into the specifics of the presentation. So let's talk about the market opportunity. Small and mid-sized enterprises are a high growth market when it comes to IT products and services, and it's no different when you look at it from the perspective of their plans to spend and their plans to spend in the cloud. Interestingly enough, based on some research that was put together by the Addons group back in 2011, they determined that only 9% of current ERP deployments use the software as a service model, compared to 72% who are running on-premise. But it was clear to see that that is changing, and small and mid-sized businesses are leading the way. Now, if you then say, okay, well, if small and mid-sized businesses are leading the charge to cloud-based ERP solutions, exactly what is the total size of that market opportunity? Gartner Group put together a study of small and mid-sized business external IT spending plans worldwide. And in the update they put together in 2010, they determined that the small and mid-sized business market is projected to grow to more than $1 trillion with a 5-year compound annual growth rate of 5.7%. So if you put these two things together, it's very, very clear to see that with that planned spend and the plans that small and mid-sized enterprises have to invest in cloud solutions, it's a great time for SAP to be making available solutions to run in the cloud. The intention of those organizations as well is very, very clear. So you can see, based on this survey that IDC did in 2011, 13% of small businesses currently use some kind of cloud or software as a service. 13.5% plan to use it in the next 12 months. The interesting thing here, though, is that 40% of those small businesses are interested but currently have no plans. So again, what does this tell us? This fundamentally tells us that if you're taking a product to market, you need to make sure that you have delivery options that not only cover the on-premise deployment, but also an on-demand or deployment in the cloud. And that's one of the things that's triggered the decision by SAP to go ahead and look at taking SAP Business One to market into the cloud. So now when we talk about the cloud, there's a couple of different aspects of this to look at. And that is, not only is it about the public cloud that we talk about, but it's also about organizations taking solutions and deploying those solutions on their own private infrastructure, which is still accessible by their people utilizing the internet as the backbone. So you can see that there is a 12% growth in companies' plans to buy and manage these particular types of IT services. Some of the comments that were made during that survey by small and mid-sized enterprises is that they believe that public cloud is transformative and will challenge their notions about how IT is bought, staffed, operated, and capitalized. Also, it's very clear that those organizations believe that the private cloud is evolutionary for the vast majority of enterprises. So it's an evolutionary step versus a transformative step to go with the private cloud, and the likely on-ramp to the cloud for the next 24 months for these organizations. And hybrid approaches to IT delivery are already a standard, but cross-platform management is really the next frontier. How do they take those applications and make sure that they're able to deliver those applications either through a private cloud, a public cloud, or a mix of both? And of course, organizations still plan to continue to invest from an on-premise perspective. So the benefits that SMEs are looking to get from cloud deployments are really around a couple of key areas. They're looking at wanting to have access to this managed IT infrastructure to have a minimal investment, and then that's obviously going to free up their resources. The second area, as we go clockwise, is they're looking to reduce those large upfront capital expenses and turn those capital expenses into predictable operational costs. They also want to securely store and access data regardless of their locations. They want to increase their business agility and have that elastic scalability and have that to be available to them effortlessly as their businesses grow. And of course, they're looking to take advantage of lower total cost of ownership by accessing pooled resources. And then finally, they're looking to streamline their operations and increase business insight, which really comes down to making sure that the right solution is chosen and then it's deployed through some kind of either private or public cloud deployment. The answer from an SAP perspective is SAP Business One. And SAP Business One is already the application of choice for more than 34,000 small and mid-sized enterprises, as well as subsidiaries of large enterprises worldwide. We have 1,500 of those large enterprise affiliates running SAP Business One today, and they're located in more than 80 countries around the world, and they're utilizing 40 country localizations which are available in 27 languages. So we have a really great solution for those organizations today. The solution is not only a business solution with what we provide with SAP Business One in the core, but it's also a flexible platform on which many different organizations have decided to build additional solutions that extend the functionality of the SAP Business One offering, and not only extend that functionality into specific industries, but also broaden that functionality horizontally with tools that add additional reporting capabilities, with tools that add additional customization capabilities that do not require consultants to come in and make those changes. In addition, we're also seeing people utilizing that platform that we provide with SAP Business One, our integration framework, to plug Business One into those trading networks. So there's a lot of work being done around that, and that is part of the advantage of SAP Business One. In addition to the work that our partners are doing, SAP are also taking that Business One application and extending that out with tools such as SAP Business One Analytics powered by SAP HANA, which will give you even faster access to your data for decision support systems. But not just faster access to data, SAP Business One Analytics will unlock a whole new raft of business opportunities as the ability to take that information, make decisions based on that information becomes almost split second. Then sitting across all of that, the Business One Core, the Business One Studio, which we previously called our software development kit, the integration framework, Business One Analytics, sitting across all of that are our lifecycle management tools, such as the remote support platform. And as we take SAP Business One OnDemand to market, we're also releasing a new component in our lifecycle management, and that is what we call the Cloud Control Center. So let's talk about Business One OnDemand specifically and what it is. Business One OnDemand, it's not a new product. It's very important to understand that. Business One OnDemand is a new deployment option for the same product which we have been successfully taking to market with partners all around the world for more than 9 years. The benefits are the same as the Business One application. It's an end-to-end solution offering financials, customer relationship management, inventory management functionality, and more. It's simple, easy to set up, use, and customize. It's scalable because as your business needs change, you can leverage pre-integrated partner solutions. And it's affordable, it's competitively priced, and you can get started with just a few users. So SAP Business One OnDemand takes all those standard benefits that are available in the Business One on-premise solution today and deploys those benefits through the cloud, thereby adding to it with the benefits of the cloud that I talked about previously. So you could summarize those benefits in 3 key areas: choice, ease, and flexibility. Choice, because we give you the ability to choose Business One on-premise or in the cloud. Ease, it gives partners the ability to host and manage the system, thereby ease. The solution is hosted and managed by SAP partners, leaving customers to focus on what they do best, which is to focus on what it is that they do to generate their revenue. And it's flexible. The solution adapts and scales with the business. And that's one of the key components of any cloud solution, is this elastic scalability, if you like, the ability for the underlying infrastructure to grow and shrink with the customer's requirements. So we're delivering on all of those things with SAP Business One OnDemand. But where does it fit in to our product portfolio? Well, that's a great question. If you think about it, for small and mid-sized enterprises, if we break that market up into these two very distinct segments, our solution for small businesses is SAP Business One. It's our most affordable solution. It's ideal for growing small enterprises who need an entry-level enterprise resource planning solution. And it's available on-premise or on demand. Now then, if you start scaling up and look at those larger mid-sized companies, they too have a choice. They can choose SAP Business All-in-One, which is our most scalable solution, which is ideal for mid-sized enterprise companies with highly industry-specific needs. Now, there is a hosting option available for Business All-in-One. However, if you are looking for a solution which is built with the cloud in mind, then we would encourage you to take a look at SAP Business by Design, which is our easiest solution for mid-sized companies to consume. It's ideal for those mid-sized enterprises preferring a no IT model, and it's available on demand only. So fundamentally, in the small enterprise space, the solution from SAP is SAP Business One. Let's then talk about the partnering model. And I'd like to kick off by talking specifically about our partner strategy and our business model. In our partnership model for SAP Business One on demand, there's a business opportunity for both new and existing partners. What does the business opportunity look like? Well, we really think there are opportunity for three partner types, for what we call strategic partners, infrastructure partners, and value-added resellers. So let's talk about these in a little bit more detail. Strategic partners, they offer the complete end-to-end services, the hosting, the cloud infrastructure, and the support. They also offer the support of the business application itself. So these are organizations who provide one point of accountability for all service needs. The second partner type is our infrastructure partners, and these are the organizations who provide hosting services for customers, typically built around their data centers. They manage and maintain customer software solutions at a remote site and can ideally cover one or more countries. So that is their core focus, is on providing that infrastructure. They do not provide the business application. Then we have our value-added resellers, and these are the people that we take Business One to market with today. They are one point of accountability for all the customer's service requirements. They provide the SAP Business One solution, they do the implementation, and they provide the ongoing support. And they ensure that there is a smooth go live and are often the main point of contact. So what we see in our partnership model going forwards is that there will be opportunities for each of these different kinds of partners, and there's also opportunities for partners to work together. So how does the business model work? Fundamentally, there are two kinds of partners who will supply the Business One on-demand license. That's our value-added resellers who will contract with SAP for the provision of that license, and then they have a contract with the Business One on-demand customer for the provision of that license. They then subcontract out to an infrastructure partner for the provision of the hosting services. Now that infrastructure partner in and of themselves are not an SAP partner per se. They go through an infrastructure partner certification, which is a standard process driven by our SAP certification team, where we come out and go through and review the infrastructure and make sure it meets our requirements. Now you might be thinking, well, why do I need SAP to certify the solution? At the end of the day, when someone talks about their Business One on-demand solution, they're going to say, we're running SAP. We want to make sure that there is minimal chance that the reputation of the SAP solution is impacted by any gaps that may manifest themselves as system outages, system downtime from the infrastructure side. That's the reason why we have that certification process for those infrastructure partners. Now let's talk about the strategic partners. Again, we have the same scenario. Strategic partners contract together with SAP to provide the licenses to their customers. They have the ability to subcontract out the infrastructure component, but what we're seeing is many of these strategic partners actually have their own infrastructure in place that can be certified by SAP or already is certified by SAP. So hopefully that's a very, very clear picture. But at the end of the day, from a customer's perspective, they only have one point of contact, and that will be the value-added reseller or the strategic partner. So what are the responsibilities of each of these kinds of partners? Well, from a strategic partner's perspective, fundamentally they are responsible for everything, whether it's marketing, branding the solution, selling, implementing, hosting, or level 1 or 2 support, and invoicing. Important point to note, level 3 support is always provided to our partners by SAP. So the strategic partner owns the entire end-to-end go-to-market. When infrastructure partners and value-added resellers work together in a joint go-to-market, there is a delineation, if you like, of the responsibilities. Now, of course, if you're sitting there contemplating becoming a Business One OnDemand partner, you're thinking, well, I already have an infrastructure partner and I want to work with them and we have a slightly different model. That's okay. But what we're saying here is this is the way we traditionally see it happening. Our recruitment managers will be more than happy to talk with you in detail about the specific joint go-to-market you have and how we can work together with you on that. But fundamentally, you can see that the value-added reseller has responsibility in this scenario, in this joint go-to-market, for maintaining and offering all the aspects of the go-to-market, with the exception of the hosting, which is provided by the infrastructure partner, and of course the level 3 support, which is provided again by SAP. Let's look specifically at those relationships. The value-added reseller partnership. Value-added resellers sell the packaged offering with implementation and support services as a package to their customers. They work with infrastructure partners in a cooperative go-to-market approach to deliver the on-demand solution. So that's a fundamental explanation of what we see the VAR partnership is all about. The value-added reseller can focus on that implementation and pre-sales. Hosting and software maintenance fully transparent and handled by the data center. Now, those value-added partners can be from various countries. They can focus on specific industries, or they can provide support to customers locally and in local languages. But the advantage that they have is that they have that central application management, which is going to ensure that the whole landscape is up to date and all updates are being managed centrally. That's going to lower the total cost of ownership. Total cost of ownership for the customer, total cost of ownership for the value-added reseller, and of course total cost of deploying or providing the infrastructure from the infrastructure partner's perspective. And the value-added reseller ensures that any add-on solutions are sufficiently tracked and updated, and the infrastructure partner also works with them to make sure those add-ons are sufficiently tracked and updated between the value-added resellers who are operating on a particular infrastructure deployment. And that is done to make sure that we have customer continuity. The last thing we want to have is have 15 different value-added resellers who are all operating with the one infrastructure partner, and an upgrade is done where some of those value-added resellers now find that some of the solutions that they may have built using the Business One Studio aren't compatible with the new version. So we're going to take our infrastructure partners and our value-added resellers through all of the aspects of that to make sure that they're fully aware of what's involved. So the infrastructure partner, these guys are fundamentally a certified data center who provide hosting infrastructure without any Business One installation or services. Alright, so that's all they do. Here it is. Here is the data center. Here is the metal. You come in, Mr. Partner, and you deploy your solution on top of it. The advantage of having these infrastructure partnerships is it provides our data center providers and Business One partners clear revenue and responsibility delineation. It provides for a clear chain of responsibility. There's also an option, depending on what the infrastructure partner wants to do, to give the VAR partner who is using their infrastructure the ability to provide their own on-demand solution branding. If a value-added reseller is working purely with an infrastructure partner, then they will be required to build some expertise in cloud provisioning technologies and processes. The data center can enable all of those SAP Business One on-demand business models as required, and there's also upside potential for the infrastructure partner with those add-on packages which drive potentially additional requirements for infrastructure, which is where, of course, the infrastructure partner makes their money. We see that there is obviously value in this model, value for both sides of the relationship, for the value-added reseller and for the infrastructure partner. So let's then finally talk about the strategic partnership. And this is, if you like, the one partner who delivers everything. They deliver SAP Business One and all services, implementation and support in one package directly to their customer. They're a one-stop location for all their customer needs. Our vision is that these strategic partners are globally present with the ability to easily scale to meet their customers' expectations. They own a data center which has full control over all their installed SAP Business One components. So they manage all the updates and upgrades of their Business One landscapes. They can fully utilize and share all that hardware and software resource across multiple customers. But they are responsible for every aspect, not only the infrastructure but also the application support. So it makes it even easier for them to do that central application management to ensure that the landscape is up to date and that all updates are being managed centrally. Again, delivering that lower total cost of ownership. So what is the pricing? Business One on-demand, we have a suggested professional end user price of approximately €99 per user per month. Now this is going to vary depending on the country and individual partner offerings. This is a suggested end user price. At SAP we do not set prices to the customer. That is determined by our partners. But the concept behind this is based on the market research that we've done. We believe that the cost of the SAP license purchased from SAP and the hosting services and support should be no more than around €99 per user per month. Now this is offered via a monthly subscription on a named user basis. And it offers the same business benefits as Business One on-premise, which we talked about before, which we'll continue to offer. It supports multiple tenants, it's available 18 countries today, and selected partners will deliver the product globally, and we will continue to scale the on-demand solution over time. What is the Business One perpetual license transfer to, or how do you translate that across from the traditional on-premise to the monthly subscription model? Well, we've worked out on a 48-month period to calculate the net present value, and we've determined that the price of the Business One on-demand, again depending on the country, because we do have country variations, should be approximately €69 per user per month. The partner gets a standard 38% discount. Add to that an approximate infrastructure cost per user per month of €30. That gives a gross margin of €26 if you calculate the partner selling price as being €99. So what is the economic model, and why is it important to understand it? Well, partners who move from on-premise to on-demand business are going to see dramatic changes. Why? Well, because of the distribution of revenues over a longer period. Obviously in the on-premise model, all software license is paid to the partner upfront, and all margin is realized upfront. In an on-demand model, that is done over a number of years. So what we have seen in an on-premise model, that the profitability tends to be higher in the year one, and then in year two the profitability is lower. Again, this is per customer profitability I'm talking about now, not the profitability of the partner as a whole, but per customer deployed profitability. In an on-demand model, in the first year of the customer running that solution, what we tend to see is we believe that there will be a first year loss on that customer, and then in the second, third and fourth year that level of profit will exist and potentially continue to climb as your customer adds more and more users into their infrastructure. And we're seeing that in the on-premise model today, that a customer will traditionally, in a 3-year period after their initial sale, they'll usually buy around about 3 times as many licenses as what they purchased in the initial tranche of licenses that they buy. But again, that's not a guarantee that that's going to happen. That is our observation based on what we see happening in the market today. So you need to be prepared for that different profitability model. So obviously things like cash flow and so on become critical. If you look at the typical customer lifecycle value of a Business One on-demand customer, and again this is for illustrative purposes only and does not represent any guarantee that this is what you're going to see, because it's going to vary depending on your model. But we believe that a single Business One on-demand customer can deliver a positive earnings before income tax and depreciation from year one, albeit a small amount. However, by the time you get to year 4, you are starting to exceed 20% cumulative. So what are our key assumptions? Key assumption are that it's a 10-user customer. And our key assumption is that on average they're going to add 15% more users each year. The assumption's based on an average street price of €99, and the customer acquisition cost is €17,000, which in all honesty we believe is quite high. But again, we wanted to make sure that we weren't, for want of a better term, gilding the lily and making sure it was very, very clear what the profitability model is here. Ongoing account management will consume 5% of the total revenue. Support, which would be charged separately, would be €10 per user. Implementation and consulting would be around, for a 10-user deployment, would be around €25,000 in year 1 and around €10,000 in each of the following years. And that you as the partner purchase the hosting from your hosting or your infrastructure partner at €30. So they are the assumptions that we've used to calculate this model, to get to the point where the longer you keep the customer each year, your profitability continues to grow. So what's the impact of cloud economics on the partner lifecycle? So the cloud economics needs to address cash flow and balance sheet more than profit and loss, because in your first year of investing in this model, you are going to see a potential impact on cash flow, as the cost of acquiring a customer really does kick in the first year, whereas the revenues are going to come in over a number of years. So the questions you need to ask are: how much do you need to invest? When are you going to be profitable? When are you going to be cash flow positive? And what will be the return on invested capital? Obviously that's beyond the scope that I can deliver in a recorded session like this, but our SAP Business One on-demand recruitment managers will be happy to have those discussions with you and help you work through some of the calculations to answer those questions. So what is the life cycle value for you as a Business One on-demand value-added reseller? So we believe that a Business One on-demand value-added reseller will start to gain a positive cumulative earnings before income tax and depreciation in year 3. Again, illustrative purposes only, your model and how you're able to effectively go to market is going to impact on this. But again, it's the same concept. A 10 user customer, adding an average of 15% more users per year, average street price €99, 17,000 customer acquisition cost, 5% account management cost, €10 per user support charge, implementation and consulting, €25,000 in your first year and 10,000 each year thereafter as the customer adds more users and adds more functionality and needs more from the solution. And of course, you're purchasing the partner hosting or the infrastructure hosting at €30 per user. So again, we've done the numbers and we believe this is the kind of results that you should expect. Let's now talk about our Partner Edge program. Partner Edge delivers significant benefits, and SAP provides a number of different resources under our Partner Edge program. We provide training, local product experts to help provide sales support in all of our regions, marketing content, programs and tools, exposure to the SAP customer base, and access to a partner ecosystem to help expand your market reach. And you benefit from that by being able to provide new business models to your existing customers, to enter new markets. You can leverage our proven and established Business One on-premise success. Provides you with upsell opportunities. You can utilize SAP's marketing and branding for your own efforts. And of course, it helps you extend your solution portfolio, which provides new license revenue opportunities and new services revenue opportunities. Partner Edge is the program that SAP have which sits behind our partner efforts. Partner Edge enables you to grow faster. It's been recognized by Computer Reseller News as one of the winners in their 5-star partner program that they ran in 2011. Partner Edge helps to accelerate engagement. The sales, marketing, program and technical resources that are available through Partner Edge ensure that you can have effective engagement opportunities with SAP and you can drive customer success. And fundamentally, Partner Edge is also about providing tools to provide transparency into your relationship with SAP and to increase our ability to collaborate together to drive your success. And of course, ours. So what are the program benefits? Well, we have different partnership options with increasing benefits. So as your partnership level grows over time based on your results, you'll have the opportunity to have engagement scenarios based on what you are contributing to the community. You'll get recognition as part of the SAP network at all levels of the program, and you'll get a partnership opportunity that fits your capabilities and objectives. We provide the SAP Partner Edge portal, which is an interactive collaboration workspace together with our Partner Edge interactive community. It gives you one global partner program framework. That's where you access the Manage My Partnership tools, and it provides a differentiated experience for those partners who have validated expertise. And of course, it gives you access to the SAP Partner Network generally. We're also then providing continuous education and portfolio expansion. Level 1 e-learning is provided free of charge. You get access to expert sessions, you get expertise that is specific to the solution that you're taking to market, and you have opportunities to expand your SAP solution portfolio to expand your business to different markets and industries. So there are a number of key benefits in the Partner Edge program. Those levels in the program, the starting point is bronze, you then move to silver, and then you move to gold. So all partners have the standard benefits package. They receive their software discount, market development funds if available in the region in which they operate, and service entitlements where you are entitled to receive a certain amount of services from what we call our partner service delivery team. When you become silver, you have all of the benefits of being bronze with increased service entitlements, increased market development funds, and the ability to participate in advisory boards. And then of course once you become gold, you have access to all of the benefits of silver, but you now have gold logo branding, our highest level of market development funds available, and the highest level of service entitlements. So again, we're always working to try and encourage our partners to move up through that Partner Edge program tiering to take advantage of those additional benefits. These benefits do vary from region to region, so I'd encourage you to speak to your SAP channel manager, your SAP recruitment manager, to get the region-specific program information guide, which will explain all of these things in a lot more detail. So how do you engage with SAP? Well, the first thing we like to look at is what is your partner profile. We're looking for some key attributes around your management track record, revenues, number of employees, number of years in business, your revenue profile around growth, financial rating, client base and size, the markets that you target, what horizontal market experience you have, your user base, number of reference customers you have, the number of employees you have, and what's the functional split of those employees, how many trained technical staff you have, and from a Business One OnDemand perspective, we're looking at some specific experience levels around the cloud. So what is all this for? Well, we look at this for a number of reasons. We look at it because what we want to be able to do is we want to be able to work with you so that you can build a profitable business. And we've determined there are a number of key characteristics in each of those attributes that indicate to us that a partner is likely to be successful. And that's what I have here on this slide. So for example, management track record. Having a desire to grow, an ability to market and sell, and a commitment to focus on SAP versus multiple vendors. Having that characteristic enables you to achieve speed in net new business as quickly as possible. Revenues of $1 million plus provides you credibility and ensures that you're financially viable. 10 employees or more is a key characteristic because that indicates that there's adequate critical mass inside the organization. Number of years in business, again, this is all about establishing a track record. Revenue profile is about year-on-year growth or past growth if your current growth is potentially flat, which is often an indication of your ability and desire to grow the business. From a financial rating, this is all about risk management. Client base and size, well, we want to make sure that you're focused on the right target market for volume business, which is what our focus is in the small and mid-sized enterprise space. Target markets are about helping you build velocity in your sales and industry focus, because the closer you are to a specific industry, the more likely it is that people in that industry will choose to do business with you. So it's one of those areas that we are encouraging partners to look at, is their industry specific focus. Horizontal market experience. Obviously we're looking for partners who have some form of ERP or accounting software experience, or some kind of complementary technology experience, CRM, web or application development, and of course large system integrators who have that broad experience. And again, why? Because that shows that there are complementary technology areas where we have solutions that you can take to market. User base and reference, minimum of 10 to 15 customers, again, which indicates that you have critical mass and credibility, which, as you no doubt are aware, is important for you to gain your first 1, 2, 3 to 5 customers. Sales and pre-sales staff, you need to have at least one salesperson and one pre-sales person to provide that dedicated sales focus and that capability to effectively represent the product in a sales environment. So what should the employee functional split be? Well, we're looking around about 10% marketing, 15% sales, 40% technical, which again gives you that ability to promote, sell, implement, and support the application software. Your technical staff, we're ideally looking for 2 or more technical people. Why? Because we want to make sure that you've got the right number of technical people who can deliver pre-sales, implementation, technical, and support ability. And then your cloud affinity, well, we want to focus on this because it's an indication of your ability to develop a good business model for yourself and for SAP. It's about determining your willingness to invest to leverage the current status of the cloud market, that you have internal visibility and priority of Business One OnDemand, and that there are additional revenue potentials for you. So this is about, making sure that you understand what the cloud is about, so you have a track record, that you have a cloud adopter mindset. And the cloud adopter mindset is quite different because it means that you're adaptable to this change in business model that I talked about earlier. The strategic relevance of Business One OnDemand should be at least 20% of your planned revenue 5 years after launch. And of course, that you have the ability to develop those add-ons, offer additional services, and that's what drives that additional revenue potential. So we have a fairly good picture based on those partners who've been successful taking our solutions to market of what we're looking for in a partner. And hopefully you will match one or more, or at least 70% of all of these criteria that we're talking about. And again, your channel recruitment manager will talk with you specifically about each one of these, and we'll discuss your profile. In order for us to do that, we have a couple of different templates. We have a template which we will get you to fill in, which helps us to understand your business objectives, your specific way of doing business as a partner, and your viability as a Business One reseller. It helps us to also align our expectations and your expectations around the model and a potential partnership with SAP. It'll help us ramp up your partner practice once the partner contract has been signed, and it's also going to help us assess your sales needs and how we can support you so that we can work more effectively with your organization and ensure that we're assigning the right resources to help you so that we can meet our joint business goals. So that's the purpose of filling in the templates that we're going to ask you to fill in. So the kinds of things we're going to look at are revenue, finance rating, revenue per person, revenue blend, revenue sources, financial reserves, your growth in the past and growth plans, percentage of revenue from partnerships, profit margins, asset turnovers, return on assets, a whole range of these specific financial pieces, of financial information, which are going to help us work together with you to build a business model and to build an ROI model that can help us understand whether or not there is an opportunity for us to work together. Go-to-market information. Again, we want to understand exactly where your focus is, your target on niche markets, client base and size, user base and reference sites, experience in volume business, horizontal market experience, what portfolio of products you're currently taking to market, and of course, years in business. And then we also would like to be able to understand your partner organizational structure. Again, this determines how likely it is that you'll be successful not only working with the SAP product but also working with SAP as an organization, and where we need to target our resources and who inside your organization the people inside our organization then need to work with. The final point is that we have a business case simulator where we would ask you to, or we would work together with you to fill in an Excel spreadsheet which helps us to set some targets and do some business planning. A couple of points are important. The business case simulator that we're going to provide to you is provided by SAP without any warranty, and we don't warrant that the results of the business case simulator are going to be accurate or complete. The results that the simulator displays do not represent a binding offer or an estimate from SAP. And also, important point to note, our decision on your application to become a partner is independent of your use of the business case simulator. It's really there to give you some kind of indication of what you could expect to achieve by working together with us with SAP Business One. We then want to look at some things around activity planning. What are your plans to take the solution to market? But not only take the solution to market, what are your plans around PR? What are your plans around employee education and so on? So we want to do that activity planning again to help us determine what resources we need to have on the ground to help you achieve these goals. Marketing and sales activity planning in detail. Again, so we know where we can work with you, but importantly, so we don't end up with a situation where we're potentially working against each other as we go to market in these particular areas. Your partner organizational structure is important to us. Who's the CEO, who's responsible for driving the Business One business, and so on. But again, our recruitment manager is going to go through all of this information with you. And then, of course, a regular forecast becomes an important part of the ongoing relationship that you have with us at SAP. So how are we going to enable you to, once we've gone through all that process, we've determined that there is a business opportunity, how are we then going to enable you? Well, we're going to enable you with a couple of key resources that are at your fingertips. We have our channel partner portal. We have our partner enablement calendar, which shows you all the events, enablement events that are coming up at any given point in time. Online training, our social media activities to keep you up to date with what we're doing. Our implementation tools, the Solution Developer Network, which is the SAP Community Network and the area specifically designed to help you as a channel partner. And of course, you have a dedicated partner service advisor. And the dedicated partner service advisor is there to help work with you and answer your frontline calls about aspects of working with SAP, working within the Partner Edge program, and so on. So our enablement program is pre-configured. It's preset. We have a standard process that we go through, which is really based on three key areas: getting you ready, making sure once you're ready we've covered off on all the bases, and then getting you active and ready to sell and implement. So we have training for you as a sales executive, we have training for you as a pre-sales person, and we have training that's available for your consultants. And each one of these streams is laid out inside a learning map which is on the SAP Channel Partner Portal. So at any point in time, you're able to see quickly and easily what resources are available for you, as well as what resources you have completed and what you are still yet to undertake. So again, we have a complete enablement framework designed to get you productive as quickly as possible. So as our infrastructure partner, we have an enablement process there as well. In the go-to-market and engagement, obviously we're going to work around building those partnerships between you, our VARs, our software solution partners, customers, and third parties. We're working on a total cost of ownership tool, working on lead tracing, tracking, and distribution, and of course working on what we call our total customer experience, which is the process of moving from inquiry through to deployment. We've got a team who'll be working with you on enabling you around deploying the Business One solution on your infrastructure, explaining the architecture, the sizing requirements, the landscape setup processes, working with you around demo systems, working with you around service unit setup and provisioning, license and add-on management as well. And then there's the maintenance piece. So we have a specific partner enablement program which we'll work through with you to help you manage the ongoing maintenance of your deployments. control center reporting, the remote support platform which helps you manage and helps the value-added resellers who are deploying on your infrastructure, helps them manage their deployments. Manages the upgrade process, user management, customization, and of course operations monitoring and support. So there is an enablement process that you can take advantage of that enables you to be as effective as possible, as quickly as possible, and reduce your total cost of offering the SAP Business One solution on your infrastructure. Let's talk then about partner add-ons and innovations. So what are partner add-ons? Partner add-ons, or as I prefer to call them, complementary solutions. These are proven and pre-configured solutions that are pre-integrated with SAP Business One to address specialized industry, business process, mobile and other challenges. We're currently going through a process to ensure that those partner complementary solutions are certified to ensure compatibility, reliability, security, and continuity. And we're also looking at providing a centralized management layer inside the Cloud Control Center, which enables the installation, upgrade, provisioning, and reporting for billing purposes on the utilization of those partner add-ons. Now, I've talked a couple of times about the Cloud Control Center. It's part of our lifecycle management tools. It is a web-based platform which is provided to our infrastructure partners to enable them to support and manage the application. So it has the necessary tools inside the solution center that enable you to trigger the deployment, that allow you to provision the necessary infrastructure and companies, and then allow you to provision the licenses and then manage all of that as you go through. And again, there's a number of different videos that I've made available on YouTube which explain tools such as the SAP Business One OnDemand Cloud Control Center. So I'd encourage you to go out and take a look at some of those as well. What does the Cloud Control Center architecture look like? Well, fundamentally we work with this concept of a service unit, which is where we do the application management. Infrastructure management is done in such a way that those infrastructure components can be shared across service units. So we have infrastructure components dedicated to a single service unit, like your application servers, your databases, your shared folders, integration components and mailers, and then components shared between multiple service units, like the software repository which holds all of the code, and the license server where all the available licenses for allocation are kept. And then of course that sits on top of your server infrastructure and is exposed out through a web access portal to the SAP Business One users, and through the Cloud Control Center to the cloud operator where you can manage all of this. So it's fair to say we have tried to think about each of the different components that will impact on your success as an SAP Business One on-demand partner. Over time, we're going to learn more together about what works, what doesn't work. But the key to success, we believe, is to go into this opportunity with a collaborative mindset, with a mindset focused specifically on understanding that this is a growing and changing market, and that in order to be successful you have to be ready to cope with that change, with that growth, with those adaptations that you'll need to make to your business model. So with that, I would like to thank you for the opportunity to talk with you about SAP Business One. I would like to thank you for taking time to participate in this session, to learn more about the opportunities available for you as a potential SAP Business One on-demand partner or an infrastructure partner. We have dedicated people whose focus it is on working with you to guide you through the partner recruitment cycle. Please reach out to your local SAP office and talk to one of those people. If there isn't one of those folks in your local office, they're certainly located at a regional level, and we will be able to put you in touch with the right person to have that discussion. And of course, don't forget, you can also contact me. My name is Richard Duffy, and you can reach me via my SAP email address, richard.duffy@sap.com. You can also find me through a variety of different social networks. Just search for Richard Duffy and SAP on Google, and you'll be able to track me down one way or the other. So I look forward to having the opportunity to work with you in the future as you become an SAP Business One OnDemand partner, and I look forward to having the opportunity to help you be more successful with SAP Business One OnDemand. Thank you.